All right, so I've said it before, and I'll say it again. That's right. Local elections are just as important than state and federal balloting. I'm telling you. And today, our guests, well, they're from the Clarksville-Montgomery County Education Association, better known as the CMCEA, because Clarksville-Montgomery County Education Association is 17 syllables, and CMCEA is just 5. But anyway, they have endorsed the incumbents in the school board election, so let's find out why. We got this and so much more now on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
He doesn't wonder what it's like on the ground in Afghanistan. He's been there, serving our country and defending Lady Liberty.
Absolutely.
It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
It's good coffee. For K-cup coffee stuff. I'm not the biggest K-cup guy, but the convenience. You just can't beat the convenience of a K-cup. Unless it's one of the cheap ones, and it takes forever. That's what we got in our little green room kitchen. But hey, nonetheless, my name is Joe Padula, host of the show. I am a veteran, not a victim. And this former Screaming Eagle soldier from the 2nd Brigade Combat Team Strike, 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, appreciates you. And I thank you. I thank you for your time, the opportunity. As, yes, this former soldier says that we are all now soldiers in today's culture war. Everyone's back and forth, back and forth. But hey, let's try and make sense of it all. No doubt about it. So, hey, make sure to smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Share the videos, especially with the shadow ban. Facebook don't like us because we like to keep it real, as the kids say. Kids don't say that anymore. They say things like dead ass. Right. It's dead ass. Dead ass serious or something like that. I'm learning. But yeah, go for it. And with that being said, let's see who we got in the studio. Oh, shift 4. Yes, very good. Look at friggin' Chris on it over there. Producer Chris. What's up, eh?
Not bad.
How's your day?
All right.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah.
Got my Jesus on today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I get my Jesus on often, but the Bible study was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's the boss, I'm the horse. People are surprised that's like, but Joe, you don't act like a Christian. What are you talking about? I ask for my forgiveness of sins every day. Like sometimes 10 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I'm working on it. I got a lot to work on. Yeah. Constance Brown. What's up, Constance?
Hello, Joe. Long time.
Too long.
I know.
You look good.
Thank you very much.
How's Mike doing?
Mike is doing very well.
Damn it. I was hoping you guys had Love on the Rocks or something.
Well, I'm going to tell you, August the 26th, you're going to have to get us a big shout out.
Yeah.
It's our 25th wedding anniversary.
25 years.
Mm-hmm. August 26th.
That's amazing.
It is.
Do you think he remembered the day?
I think he does.
Okay, good.
We'll find out.
Yeah, just stay tuned. Stay tuned. But bringing today the treasurer. What's up? How you doing, Melissa?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Melissa, and you look great, okay? Prior to, okay, let's just fill you in real quick, okay? Prior to, Melissa's like, wait, cameras? I go, you look great. So, yes, tell her she looks great, all right? And you ladies smell awesome as well. It's better than when it's just the dudes in here. It's just like a locker room. It is. It smells like an old sock.
I was filing papers, getting ready for school to start until I got the call from Constance about 4:30 today.
Oh, right. Yeah, hey, we need a substitute. Right.
That's right.
We need you. But I'm glad you two are here today. And we're going to go over, local elections. Because, man, it is important, okay? These local elections. Let's, and don't go to the J cam. I didn't adjust some of the cameras on there.
Just saw that.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, so the local elections. And what is the Clarksville-Montgomery County Education Association, Constance?
Well, we are the largest advocacy organization for educators in this county. We have been 62 years. We've been supporting and advocating for teachers and students, custodians, all of our members since 1960.
Right.
So we've been around for a while.
And on your Facebook page, it says a nonprofit organization, correct?
That's exactly right.
Nice. Now, the association itself, very powerful. You guys, I don't even know if you realize how effective you guys are.
Well, locally, we have worked very, very hard to make sure that we build strong relationships we work with the community as we can, the central office, because we know when you have strong working relationships, you can get things done.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, there is an election, and tomorrow is actually election day.
It is.
So I'm glad that we were able to have this prior to election day. You know what I mean? But the organization itself has put its support behind 3 candidates. You got Carol Berry, you got Herbert Nelson, and Jimmy Garland. Why did you choose these 3 candidates?
Well, our political action committee, which is separate from CMCEA, no dues dollars ever go to anything that we do on a political
That's right.
nature. And
it's a legal thing. Yeah.
Exactly. We invited candidates in all 3 of these races to come, and we gave them the questions up front. And they all showed up, sat down, and spoke with our committee.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the answers that we got to the questions, ways to solve problems, we felt like the incumbents had stronger stands on long-term solutions.
All right. This is probably just in my history here in the area, the school board elections have, and I don't want to use the word popular, but has never been in the limelight as it has been now.
You're correct.
And it has, I mean, you know, we take it back to 2020, COVID and everything, okay? And this is where Facebook starts flagging us because we said the C word. Isn't that crazy?
The coof.
It's crazy. Just one word, these bots. But anyway, and, you know, the schools being shut down, and then the debates over masking and not masking, okay? The conversations of vaxxing, not vaxxing, okay? Then thrown into it all, you know, these conversations of CRT and elections have the people, the parents have never been so involved before until now. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's not really just parents. It's in general. COVID changed. I think it changed a lot of perspectives in a lot of different areas. Just period. I mean, we in my generation, have we ever had a pandemic like this?
Right.
Lots of things changed, and we do have parents that are more active. And I can tell you, I've been going to school board meetings. I'm starting my 17th year of attending school board meetings, and up until we went back live, because we had school board meetings Zoom for some time, we didn't have parents in school board meetings. This is very recent.
And I've talked to parents about this because, and I get it, they use the school system as pretty much, and it sounds terrible, but like a daycare. They dropped off the kids. That was it. You know, at the end of the day, they come home. Hey, how was school, right? It was just part of the routine. You know, and then there it is. Now the kids are at home. They're trying to do the virtual classes, and that was another big topic of debate, too, between parents. And then now they're like, okay, now we have to be involved. And now that they've gotten involved, how is Melissa, you were at one of the meetings, right?
Yes, I was at both of the meetings.
Right. What was going on for these meetings? What was the agenda of the day for these meetings?
So for the meetings, as Constance said, we had the same questions that we ask every candidate, and every candidate running actually did come for the meetings except for Aaron Mayberry, who was running unopposed.
Right.
So we did have everyone there.
What district is he? I'll run against him.
One? What district is he?
I think you're right. I think you're.
No, he's not one. Carol is
terrible
one.
with the numbers.
I am too.
It's
I
the
have to
worst.
connect him to a school.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
connected to Clarksville High. He's actually in my district.
Okay, all right.
And I don't even know the number.
So you guys are at the meeting, right? And because I had them on last week.
Right.
You know, I had them on last week, and they were going over their gripes because one of the questions is why are you getting involved? Why would you? I ask this about anyone that runs for a public office or an election. Why would you want to run? And they went into their stories and everything, and then they said, because I believe they were seeking your guys' endorsement. But like I said, you guys are a very powerful organization, very influential. I think more than maybe you think. But maybe that's because you're not narcissists, But nonetheless, they wanted your endorsement, didn't get it. Why?
Well, what we wanted to know is the same thing that you're asking. Why is it that you want to be involved? What is your interest? What is your motivation? And, I think that at the end of the day, everyone is in this because they want to improve our schools. They want to be active in their communities. And so we're not questioning that, that they want to be more active. And we also, though, want to make sure that we're endorsing people who know the right way to be active and have the right experience to be, on a school board.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I think it's important for us as representatives who want to work with anyone who is elected to the school board, whether they are people we endorsed or not. I think that as teachers and as representatives of all educators in our district, we want to keep it as positive as we can. So we didn't have gotcha questions. But we did want to know, like, what is your stance on, school safety? What is your stance on charter schools? That's something that's really important for us right now. And as a district that needs, all the money we can get into our schools because we're growing like crazy. I mean, anyone can see that
Ain't that the
Clarksville is
truth?
growing, and probably more than most of us would like. We're full. We can't afford to have dollars leave our public schools. And if we do have charter schools come in, then we're going to be looking at our CMCSS is going to be writing a check.
Well, one of the
for those charter
candidates
schools.
I was watching, because I love getting involved in local elections, learning everybody. This is actually the first year that I've done research on school board. You know what I mean? Just like with the parents back in the day, whatever it is, it is. But now I'm finally doing some research. I just find that the fact that when you guys went into your decision here, all three candidates, I looked into them, and I looked into all the candidates running, but these three, pretty far left Democrats. Do you know what I mean? And I went into their social media history and everything, and one is kind of radical, but nonetheless, did you not choose the other candidates because maybe you thought they were radicals?
Education is not about being a Republican or a Democrat.
Well, they all got
And
letters next to their names now.
They do now,
Yeah.
and that is a shame. Because
Is it?
Yes, yeah.
Why?
It is,
Why do you think
because
so?
if you're going to serve public education, then you need to be making stances on issues and not have people looking at you oh, you're an R, so I'm going to vote for you. You're a D, I'm going to vote for you, or I don't like you. What are the educational issues involved? And up until this year, you could, people were known for their issues, not whether they were
Well, I
red
think it's
or
gone
blue.
beyond, like when it comes to education. Politics has been thrown into the school system, and it's this is more than just local. There are factors in play where it's not about what's being educated, but then again we talk about the health factors and everything, and so school board members are heavily involved in that decision making, right? So I get why the letters are next to the name, because political parties have decided to promote one way of enforcing health stuff, and it's not just education stuff. So I get why the letters are there. But with that being said, the one candidate was talking about charter schools, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's an interesting topic. There was Carol Berry, who said charter schools are not public schools, but according to the tn.gov, they say they are independent public schools.
They are public and private charters.
Right.
And the charter schools, the two charter schools that have applied for this county are public charter schools. So there is a difference. And so I think Miss Berry was thinking about probably a couple of years ago when charters started popping up everywhere.
Uh-huh.
They were mostly private charters. And so I just think that was something she was relying on, some information that was just a little bit dated. But we do have public charter schools and private charter schools. The issue to me with charter schools in general, is that so many of them, public or private, pop up, then they're gone. So what happens to those children after they're gone? And that is a big issue. When you're dealing with educating children, and we're talking about the growth of this school system, last night at the board meeting, Dr. Vetter said, registered right now, we've not started, 38,200 students in the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system.
It's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids, and I think it's probably 1,000 or more than what the last number I heard at the end of last school year.
It's a lot of acne.
Very definitely, I'm sure.
A lot of zits.
Lots of zits. But the thing about it is we have to think about populations as a whole, and our population is 38,200 when you're dealing with public education. You can't make decisions based on this little sector or that little sector of students. You've got a whole that you've got to take care of, and you have to weigh all options and make decisions that are best for your whole student body.
We're in need of teachers here in the area, bus drivers, absolutely. Why do you think that is, and what do you think the solution would be?
So I'm willing to take that.
Yeah.
I'm still in the classroom.
Melissa
I've been
goes,
in the classroom
"Alley-oop."
for 27 years.
What do you teach?
I teach AP Language. I teach AP Psychology. I teach Honors English 3.
Nice.
So I love my job. I love being in my classroom. And, during COVID, when students went home and we were doing our best to still teach them, I was having Zooms. I didn't even know what Zoom was before, barely before
It's such a difficult
COVID.
way to learn and teach. Oh,
It was, and we were still trying to do the best we could, but, a lot of that just fell back on parents.
how did you send a kid in Zoom to the detention hall?
Look, you just
Right?
exit them.
Wow.
Just bye.
Right. No disciplining on your right.
But
So tough to
we were
teach them.
heroes then, and people were talking about how great teachers were. We didn't know, but since then, teachers have really been hit pretty hard, and there's been a lot of things, I guess, becoming involved in that. You've talked about education becoming politicized, and teachers are tired. And they're leaving the profession. Students see how teachers are treated. And, I think just like anywhere else, anywhere we go, any kind of business we go into, if they're happy employees, they're happy customers.
Right. I agree with that.
If we are, happy teachers make happy students.
The disciplining part that you mentioned there, it's crazy. When a child acts up, what's the process? For you anyway.
So if students misbehave, we make parent contacts. Hopefully we get parent support. Then we do some referrals to counselors so that they can be, is the child, does the child just need redirection? Are they having problems at home? Is there some kind of underlying cause for this behavior? Because as much as the discipline may affect the teacher, the ultimate goal is that students need to be educated. And we need to help them to get through whatever it is that's causing that discipline. Students come first. That's why we make that initial parent contact, asking for parent support.
I'm all
they go
for
to
public
counselors
spankings.
and-
Bay, you were
That
spanked in
was-
class, right?
Yeah.
What year was that when you were? Tell that story,
That
Bay.
was early 90s.
Yeah? What'd you do?
Middle school.
No, what did you allegedly do? I'm sorry.
This misbehaved.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
Spanked in the class.
Look, I was paddled 1981.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, for running on the concrete.
How dare you?
I know. They didn't want me to hurt myself.
I get spanked now, but I have to pay extra for it.
So they hurt you so that you don't get hurt.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That was the 80s.
Yeah, that was the 80s.
Then you got, the teachers, the bus drivers. What about the bus drivers? Why is it the same thing? There's some bad apple kids that are making it tougher for the bus drivers. What do we know about the bus drivers?
Well, there's bad apples. I mean, if you want to call them bad apples, in any bunch, I think with the bus drivers, and I think the system is working towards remedying this. There are two things. It's a real part-time job. It's 5 hours a day. They've upped the hour. They're working 6 hours a day.
Like, I would call it like a full part-time job.
A
You know
full
what I mean?
part-time job.
Yeah, a fart job.
Yeah,
Right.
and they are have also increased the pay scale, the entry level, plus every bus driver. When I spoke with the transportation supervisor a couple of weeks ago, said that everyone moved up a level on their pay scale because they did a salary adjustment. They had done a market analysis. So I do think that they are making steps to try to make the pay and the time, a much better, much better job, But we've got bus drivers in this system, Joe, that have been driving 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're still doing it.
Right.
So you have to think about the economy and going out there. I'm in the industrial park, and you drive up and down International Boulevard, and I'm hiring, here's a signing bonus, here's
Right.
$18 an hour, and you just go work a shift.
You could never pay me enough to be a bus driver.
It's
It's not an insult.
It's not easy.
It's
Yeah.
Because first of all, there you are. You're responsible, okay, for every little soul that is sitting behind you.
All
Okay,
64 children on a bus.
right? You are literally on an elevated tank, okay. And then while you have to concentrate on what's going on in traffic, which we know in this area is oofa. Yeah, best said it perfect. It sucks. And then you have to now worry about making sure everyone is acting orderly. Man,
Back in the day, we used to be able to ride the bus. We'd be able to get on the bus, sit with whoever we want. They actually have seating arrangements as to
is that how it works now?
Yeah, so you have middle school boys, middle school girls, high school boys. That's how they have to sit.
But what about my first holding hand experience?
That's why they don't have it, it's so that nothing bad can happen. Yeah,
I'll never forget it. Remember Brooke Codes? Remember? She don't remember.
So I actually happen to be a former Clarksville school bus driver.
Why'd you
Oh,
get
cool.
fired?
I didn't get fired. I
Oh,
left.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Why'd you leave?
Way better pay, better opportunity.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Now, mind you, I left back in 2016 when pay was $12.
Man.
That's a lot. The backing wasn't there behind the drivers. The school administrators, you'd write up a student, and there was no backing there.
And
That's what frustrated a lot of the drivers.
You're right.
We've got a signing bonus. Come on back.
No.
there you go.
Yeah.
I moved on to tour buses.
Okay.
The last week when I had the other candidates on, and I reached out to the other ones, the ones that you guys endorsed. I got no response back, but that's all right.
Well, Joe,
I would love to talk to them.
Well,
About masking. I got so many questions. Vaccines, CRT. All the hot topics of the day.
I can't speak
I know,
for the
I
other
know,
two, but
yeah.
let me tell you, Mr. Garland has had some horrible family
No, I'm
issues,
sure.
and
I'm sure.
we need
Death
to
in the
pray for
family.
him.
Yeah.
His wife has had a stroke.
Okay. They all got my prayers.
We need to pray for his family.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
You know, as far as masking, you know, students can wear masks. If students choose to wear masks, students can wear masks. If students need a mask, you know, we can give students a mask.
Right.
We have a policy that we've had on CRT, you know, all last year. I think that, you know, going back to having happy teachers and happy students, when we talk to these candidates, we feel like these candidates are the most receptive to hearing what teachers are experiencing and what we need. And that's, you know, like I said before, I don't really want to talk about, and you haven't asked me, you know, why we didn't choose this person or why we didn't choose that person. But to be positive about the candidates that we chose, you know, Carol Berry was over 30 years in the classroom. In the past, we've had teachers who called her and said, Miss Berry, this is something that's happening at my school. And, you know, she'll go down to the school and talk to a principal herself. And that kind of advocacy is the same kind of advocacy that we would give. You know, so it's important that we have school board members who are willing to do that. Herbert Nelson was military security. And so I think about, like, you know, keeping our schools safe. And I was able to have a conversation with him and say, you know, Mr. Nelson, if you want to know where the security, like, weaknesses may be, talk to your teachers. Because I've sat in my classroom during lockdowns and thought about how the school could be breached.
Right.
Because I'm in there with, you know, 25 souls behind me and, you know, wondering if I'm going to be able to keep them safe if this is the real thing.
No, I hear you. And like with other stuff, like Herb, you know, even on his Facebook there, you know, you see him liking posts about Cuomo with COVID lockdowns and everything. So I understand why these people, these other candidates, you know, are concerned.
Sure.
You know,
I do too. We're all concerned.
and want to be involved. I just know they wanted your guys' endorsement because you guys are very powerful and influential.
We're here to work with the school board. Election day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Of course, we have endorsed 3 candidates, and we want our candidates to win. However, we want a strong working relationship with whomever is on the board. But so far as like...
But that's tough to get because you saw on Instagram where it showed that you guys were, not you guys, I think it was Tennessee actually. They were calling the other candidates, was it radical privaters? What is a radical private?
Privatizer.
Privatizer. That's what it
Privatizer.
was. What does that mean?
A privatizer is someone who wants to privatize education and have all tax dollars go out of public education, and all education is going to be
I don't think
private.
that's the case with those other candidates.
It may not be, but that's what a privatizer is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if they're looking at the solution as being a charter school, and some of them are, then what we have to think about is, you know, if you have a charter school and you open that charter school in, say, a church, and that church is paying an overhead, or you have it in another location and you're not having to build a school, if we lose, let's say, students that go to private schools or to public charter schools, to whatever school, if we lose those students and we have to write those checks, you know, to these charter schools, Montgomery Central High School, where I teach, still has the same overhead. We're still paying the same number of teachers, the same number of administrators, the same electric bill.
That's where you went,
same
right?
bills.
Montgomery Central.
But if we have those same bills and we're losing those student dollars, then there has to be a sacrifice somewhere. So where
Understood.
does that come from? Does
Just
it
me
come
personally,
from county tax dollars?
That's a great question. You know, where does it come from? But at the same time, me personally, I'm a big proponent of personal choice. You know what I mean? Well, when it comes to anything, I just, don't tell me what to do. I think it's a Jersey thing in me, right? But
Definitely a Jersey.
yeah, you know what I mean? But if the parent gets an option, and I get why there are organizations that aren't for charter or school choice, because you're going to be losing students. But man, maybe this is a great opportunity to up the game. Competition, I think, is a beautiful thing on many different fronts. But I understand, I get it, why you would be against charter schools or school choice or vouchers and stuff like that, because, you're going to be losing students.
Well, we're losing tax dollars, and most of that, that's not going to come from the state. The state's not going to give us additional dollars. And we're already paying a lot of teachers and a lot of funding out of our county tax dollars. And so when we lose those dollars, then are we able to provide the students we have with the same opportunities? And it's not just about losing a student that maybe gets a good education somewhere else. It's about the students who are left behind who may not be able to go to those schools. And
Why wouldn't they be able to go to those schools if they got a choice?
Well, those schools aren't necessarily going to take students who have special needs. They're not going to take students who may be behavioral
I don't think that's
problems.
possible.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean the special needs? Like what's the criteria?
They will be able to. Charter schools have, first of all, waivers. One of these schools had waivers where they didn't have to have actual teachers, and so they.
But if the parent still wants the child to go there, what's the problem with that?
Well, and that could be true. If the parent wants their child to have an education at that school where they don't have teachers, you're right. So make that choice, send your child there. I will say if they decide that they don't like that school anymore and then they send the child back to us, we don't recoup any of that funding back at our school, although we'll be responsible for educating that child.
Yeah.
And so
It sounds
we're not
easy. You sign a
getting-
waiver, right? You sign.
Yeah, well, that maybe, but like when those
Here,
children
get the
come back,
state
we lose
senators
that
on the
money.
phone. We'll fix this right now.
And they don't have to provide, and they don't have the resources to provide for special needs students who are in CDC classrooms, but we do, and we need funding to take care of those students.
I'm going to work on a bill, and you two are not going to like it. Oh, boy. I don't have kids in the system. I don't want to pay that tax. Okay?
My
I'm
house has
sorry.
never burned down, but I still pay for the fire department.
Yeah, I know the old cliche saying. I know.
I don't drive on that road. Why am I paying for it?
No, I
haven't used that part.
I hear you. And I'll tell you what, I won't drive on those roads. Right.
Look, I take mine out of the middle. I pay for the road. I'm taking my half out the middle.
It's a bill that'll never happen. But
Joshua Wilcombe says that minorities do better in charter schools. It's proven.
Show us the data.
yeah, show us the data.
Show us the data.
It's so easy to say it. I want to see it. I want to see it. But again, I understand. The candidates that wanted your choice. I guess why. It's. I think you chose the candidates you chose. Because there it is. It's the way it's been, the way it's going, and you're okay with that, and that's fine.
No, that's not.
We're fine because we feel that these candidates are listening to us and because they want to help us with change.
Oh, change. Very interesting you brought up change. One of the candidates, very radicalized, and I've seen posts, and listen, if you're on Twitter, be careful what you like and what you retweet, okay? Because it's not a good thing sometimes.
The internet lives forever.
Forever.
Yes, forever.
And I got to tell you, I respect you, I love you, but I do not like your choices that you chose here. But nonetheless, we got a big election day, and it is tomorrow. It is August 4th, and local elections are so important, even more than state and federal, like we said earlier.
We need people to vote in local elections.
We have such an issue with that.
And it has been historically. You know, the first thing I did when I turned 18 years old was go and register to vote.
Yeah.
And I've rarely missed an election at any level. But local elections are the lowest voter turnout.
I'll tell you what,
elections.
though, looking at the numbers so far for school board, so far they've been the highest for school board elections. Like, you guys are getting popular. I love it. The school is a big focus. So, but before we do wrap up here, the youth, okay? It's all about the youth, okay? Or the
Yes.
youths, right. And you guys, the Clarksville-Montgomery County Education Association, has this technical youth program. What is this about?
Well, they have done some great things in this system, giving students choices. And one thing, it was started 5 years, we'll be starting our 5th year, is early technical college at TCAT. And
What is TCAT?
the Tennessee College of Applied Technology.
Nice.
It's out in the International Boulevard.
Smart kids.
And we're partnered with TCAT, and we take juniors and seniors from across the district. We provide transportation, so that we try to make no barriers for you to be able to get there if you qualify. You just have to be a solid student. You don't have to, have a 3.5 or anything like that. We have a 2.2, but you have to be a good kid.
A 2.2. That's the grade.
Yeah,
okay.
it's about a C plus. It's about a C plus average.
I almost
overall.
would have made it.
You would have almost made it, Joe. But our students get dual enrollment credit in diesel powered equipment.
I love it.
HVAC.
It sets them up for success.
Industrial electrical maintenance, mechatronics, farm tech, and we've got a pre-practical nursing.
And this is all their option.
It's
too.
all their option.
I love
we
it.
have a lot of choices. We've said that word a lot in
I
this
love it
program.
when kids want. I love that feeling when kids like, man, I want to do something, and I know what I want to do. I want to learn about it, and then you guys are providing that.
We're doing it, and we're going a step further because we are partnering with businesses all across Clarksville. And our students are getting real world experience through job shadowing
Right.
and internships.
Any success stories of where they left your guys' program and
Oh,
actually
gosh.
got a career?
Well, our students don't finish with their TCAT training when they finish high school. But I can tell you that we had a young man in the diesel powered equipment program that graduated this past year, and he's already back in on the adult side. The diesel shop that he worked at offered him a job on the spot,
How much does he need an assistant?
Well,
man.
I don't know. He might. He's
Diesel
a
mechanics-
heck of a mechanic.
Diesel mechanics make good dough.
And he's offered a job at Caterpillar. When he started on the adult side, the adult instructor sent him to a place off of exit 40.
Man, he
and
gets
this
a
young
job
man
at
turned
Caterpillar?
18 years old and is making $20 an hour.
Good for him.
And he's not finished yet.
He gets offered
So,
Caterpillar. I got a job at Cat West. That's something I write here.
I mean, you both have a C in the name.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, do you guys control what programs that the TCAT has?
We don't control what TCAT has. We did some research and background studies on the programs that we were specifically going to offer our students based on needs, what the job market was, and then we've got so many academies and what I call VOTEC, but everybody else is career technical education. Now that we didn't want to be stepping on toes in high schools, so most of our programs are not offered in any other high school. So they graduate as a ready graduate because they get dual enrollment credit. They earn money doing their internships, and it's, to me, it's one of the best things that we've ever done.
That is pretty good. Yeah. Constance, I love you. You know that.
I love you too, Joe.
The warm and fuzzies.
Well, we got to wrap it up here, but voting tomorrow. And for more information, the links, all the links are in this video description here. Okay, and if people, what are the hours? Do we know the hours tomorrow for voting? We open up at
Polls open typically 7, don't they?
7 a.m.?
7
Yeah,
to 7.
7 to 7, I
think
think.
It's 7 to 7.
7 Good Veterans Plaza.
But go to your precincts tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
tomorrow's precinct day.
Precincts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
and
right.
and it may not be where you're usually have been voting in the past. You got a new voter card a couple of months ago.
That's right. That's right.
And you need to make sure
It's-
you go to the right polling station.
Check the voter card.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, I know, especially with the traffic here in Clarksville. Right. So damn school bus drivers. That stop sign that's on the school bus that goes out, right?
Yes.
Is that automatic, or do they have to press a button?
It's a press a button.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was connected to the door opening.
So it is. So you have to initiate the yellow lights. Then you have to initiate the red lights. Open the door. The sign comes out automatically once the the flashing lights turn red, and the door starts to open.
Nice.
See, you're ready. You're ready.
you're
to come
ready
right
to
back.
come.
And now,
Come on,
and
Chris.
now they have cameras on
Yeah.
some of them.
Yes.
This whole thing was a setup to get him a job.
That's
not
Isn't
gonna
that
happen.
fantastic?
Ron Garner's going to be calling you tomorrow.
Ron's a good friend of mine.
Before we get out of here, Courtney Boy said, so grateful for the animal science program.
Right.
So
Yes.
check that out. Very cool.
We've got some great programs, and we're doing better as a system, I believe, of getting a social media presence out there for our programs. I do think that there are things that, unless you've got a
we gotta
kid in the
talk then.
system,
I got ideas.
you know.
Those academies and the partnership with TCAT, those are the kind of things that, we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that we continue to get better and better at helping students and helping to prepare them for their careers after high school.
So
And
important.
We want to keep all those programs. We want to continue to be able to provide, and that takes funding, so we want to do what's best for kids.
I love that they get an opportunity to have a career with you guys. That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Absolutely. That's my word. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you all. All the links are in the video description. And remember, tomorrow, go vote. Check your voter card, okay? It has your precincts. That's a great point. That's right. You show up, you're like, what happened? What happened? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Why is there a Dunkin' Donuts and a 7-Eleven here now? What happened? Clarksville. Thanks for enabling us to have a conversation here on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely. One of the most amazing things to do all year round is to visit some of the world's most beautiful places and scuba dive, creating a lifetime of memories with each trip. But first, you must get certified, and that's where Water Dogs comes in. They're right here in Clarksville, and the Water Dog team makes the scuba certification process affordable, fun, and effective. They'll even help you plan your trip. So if you're an expert diver or never seen the ocean, Water Dogs Scuba and Safety is ready to help show you the experiences of a lifetime. Water Dogs